Hi everyone, Lisa Haven here, and have I got some bad news to share with you, especially if you live in the state of California. Well, check out this report from the LAtimes.com titled, "Being a Communist Would No Longer Be Cause for Losing a State Job Under a Bill Narrowly Approved in an Assembly." The report goes on to detail that being a member of the Communist Party is no longer a fireable offense for state jobs under a measure narrowly approved by the California Assembly on Monday. The measure, approved by Assemblyman Rob Bonta, would strike language in California law dating from 1953 that warns of a clear and present danger, which the legislator of the state of California finds is great and imminent. That in order to advance this program, policies and objectives of the World Communist Movement, communist organizations in the state of California, and their members will engage in concerted effort to hamper, restrict, interfere with, impede, or nullify the efforts of the state. And their members will infiltrate and seek employment by the state and its public agencies. Essentially, Bonta's bill would eliminate the references to the word communism. Now, the bill itself, it's called Assembly Bill 22, narrowly went through with a 41 majority vote, and now it is moving on to the Senate. Not my words, but the actual words of something that they're attempting to do there in California. Let me also take you back to the original information, if you will, on the California website, www.law1cle.com, and it's 1027.5. The legislator of the state of California finds that, and this is what they originally had to say about communism, there is a worldwide revolutionary movement to establish a totalitarian dictatorship based on force and violence rather than law. The worldwide movement is predicted upon, and it is designed and intended to carry into execution the basic precepts of communism as expounded by Marxists Lenin and Stalin. It goes on to say that the objectives of the world communist movement in numerous forming countries, the legally constituted governments have been overthrown and totalitarian dictatorships established there against the will of the people. And the establishment of similar dictators in other countries is eminently threatening. The successful establishment of totalitarian dictators has constantly been aided, accompanied, or accomplished by repeated acts of treachery, deceit, teaching of false doctrines, teaching untruth, together with organized confusion, insubordination, and disloyalty, fostered, directed, instigated, or employed by communist organizations and their members in such countries. Within the boundaries of the state of California, there are active, disciplined communist organizations functioning for the primary purpose of advancing the objectives of world communist movement, which organizations promulgate, advocate, and adhere to the precepts of the principles and doctrines of the world communist movement. One of the objectives of the World Communist Movement is to place its member in state and local government positions and in state-supported educational institutions. If this objective is successful, propaganda can be disseminated by the members of those organizations among pupils and students by those members who have the opportunity to teach them and to whom, as teachers, they would look for guidance, authority, and leadership. The members of such group would use their positions to advocate and teach their doctrines and teach the prescribed Communist Party line, group, dogma, and doctrine without regard to truth. This type of propaganda is sufficiently subtle to escape detection. There is a clear and present danger, which the legislator of the state of California finds great and imminent, that in order to advance this program, policy, and objectives of the World Communist Movement, communist organizations in the state of California and their members will engage in concerted effort to hamper, restrict, intervene, impede, or nullify the efforts of the state and the public agencies of the state to comply with or enforce the laws of state of California, and their members will infiltrate and seek employment by the state and its public agencies. Here's the thing, California priorly found it offensive and, well, dangerous if you were a communist, and found it dangerous that communism in the government, any form of government really, was a problem, and it could cause propaganda and a breeding ground for totalitarianism. Well, California, what's the difference now? Why do you all of a sudden want to remove the verbiage of communism and make it okay for communists to have government positions? What's the difference? Why is today different from yesterday or different from 100 years ago? Explain that to me. Well, may I suggest that it's this. Communism has made its way into the US government, not just in California, but abroad. We know Obama, he was a communist Muslim, if you will. Hillary Clinton has many ties to communists herself. When I spoke with Larry Nichols, who's a good friend of mine, he consistently brought up the fact that Hillary Clinton was a staunch communist. Let me just suggest, communism is already in our government, and they're going to do everything they can to push it forward no matter what happens. Well, we the people will not stand for that. Anyhow, if you like what you heard here today, please hit that subscribe button and share it on all your social media outlets. The only way that the truth is going to continue to get out is if you share it. We are getting suppressed and banned and downed and pushed to the bottom of the barrel on all the multiple outlets. It's up to you and up to other channels like mine to continue to spread the news, because this is something you will not hear on the mainstream media. Well, thanks again for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.